What is happening, Bitcoin Bulletin fam? Get ready for a rapid-fire rundown of the news that matters. The Fed just made a move, and it's sending shockwaves through the crypto market. We've got Trump weighing in on Bitcoin's safe haven status, and one of Japan's biggest Bitcoin holders is planting flags in the US. Plus, a new pattern is emerging on the charts that has traders buzzing with a potential crash alert. Stick around, you don't want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. The Fed's big decision: rate cut or market trick? The Federal Reserve just made its first key rate cut since December 2024, slicing it by 0.25 percentage points to 4.425%. This move, long anticipated by investors, has led to a surprisingly muted market reaction so far. Fed Chair Jerome Powell stated that economic activity has indeed slowed, with job gains moderating and inflation remaining elevated, prompting this cautious easing. However, the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, is far from unified on future actions, with projections split on whether more cuts will come this year. This uncertainty is fueling debate among experts, with some, like Tom Lee, predicting a massive Bitcoin rally to $200,000 by year-end, while others, like Ted Pillows, foresee a short-term correction to $92,000 before a new ascent. Kraken economist Thomas Perfumo suggests that while the market will eventually rise, further rate cuts will be the real catalyst, potentially having a more significant impact than this initial reduction. This strategic move by the Fed has investors on the edge of their seats, wondering if this is the calm before the storm or the start of a sustained rally. But what if the Fed's actions are setting the stage for a completely different outcome? And speaking of big moves, did you hear what Trump had to say about Bitcoin? Don't go anywhere, because the implications of these financial shifts are far-reaching. Next up, we're diving into why a prominent political figure is now calling Bitcoin modern gold, and what it means for its safe haven status. Bitcoin's chart warning: are we headed for a crash? Despite the Federal Reserve's recent interest rate cut, a concerning pattern is emerging on Bitcoin's charts, signaling a potential major bearish breakdown. While BTC is currently trading around $116,000, analysts at ING predict that the Fed's easing cycle might lead to further cuts in 2026, with 2 more expected this year. Historically, lower interest rates devalue the dollar and boost appetite for riskier assets like Bitcoin, as seen with the recent inflows into U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs. However, this rate cut could become a classic sell-the-news event, where investors cash out after the anticipated news breaks. Adding to the bearish outlook, Bitcoin has formed a rising wedge pattern on both weekly and daily charts, a formation that often precedes a significant price drop. The Falling Relative Strength Index, RSI, further supports this bearish divergence. Experts are warning of a potential drop towards $107,000, or even as low as $100,000, before any potential Q4 rally. This technical analysis paints a stark picture, suggesting that the current optimism might be short-lived, with a sharp correction looming. But amid these market fluctuations, a surprising endorsement of Bitcoin is coming from an unexpected quarter. Could this be a sign of shifting global perceptions? Next, we'll explore how a major political figure is now championing Bitcoin as a new form of digital gold. Trump declares Bitcoin modern gold, boosts safe haven status. In a bold statement on CNBC's Squawk Box, Trump declared that Bitcoin has officially taken the role of gold in today's world, positioning it as a strategic safe haven asset. This endorsement comes at a pivotal moment, coinciding with the launch of American Bitcoin, a mining and BTC holding company with which he is closely associated. Trump emphasized that Bitcoin is now an easily mobilizable store of value, offering the traditional benefits of gold with the added advantage of instant global transferability. This perspective aligns with a growing trend of publicly traded companies, like American Bitcoin, which now holds over 2,443 BTC on its balance sheet, integrating digital assets into their core reserve strategies. The company, formed through a merger with Griffin Digital Mining and trading on Nasdaq as ABTC, aims for significant industrial ambitions, despite potential risks associated with market volatility and governance questions surrounding political involvement. The implications of a figure like Eric Trump publicly backing Bitcoin as a primary store of value are immense, signaling a major shift in mainstream perception and institutional interest. But as traditional companies embrace Bitcoin, another major player in the crypto space is making a significant international move. This endorsement could reshape how we view digital assets in the global financial landscape. Meanwhile, a key Japanese company is making waves by expanding its Bitcoin operations to the U.S. Metaplanet's U.S. expansion, a bold bet on Bitcoin treasury. Metaplanet, the Japanese hotel group that has amassed a staggering $2.3 billion in Bitcoin, is making a significant strategic move by establishing a new subsidiary in Miami, Florida. This U.S. expansion, named Metaplanet Income Corp., aims to manage and grow income generation activities, with an initial capital injection of $15 million. The subsidiary is designed to facilitate derivatives operations and other revenue-generating ventures, separate from the company's core Bitcoin treasury. This move comes as Metaplanet's stock faces a recent slide, down nearly 4% on Wednesday and roughly 68% over the past 3 months, despite a 74% year-to-date increase. The company's income generation has largely been driven by selling Bitcoin put options, a strategy that proved profitable in the second quarter, generating $7.7 million. Metaplanet's bold expansion into the U.S. market, particularly with a focus on derivatives and income generation from its vast Bitcoin holdings, signals a growing confidence in diversifying its crypto-related business activities. Yet, the recent stock performance raises questions about market sentiment surrounding the company's strategy. As major players like Metaplanet push boundaries, the broader crypto market continues to digest significant news. Will this U.S. venture unlock new revenue streams for Metaplanet? We've covered a lot of ground today, from Fed rate cuts to political endorsements and international expansion. Now, let's quickly recap the biggest stories and tell you how to stay locked in with Bitcoin Bulletin. And that's a wrap on today's Bitcoin Bulletin. The Fed cut rates, but the market's reaction is mixed, with analysts predicting both rallies and corrections. Eric Trump is calling Bitcoin modern gold, signaling a major shift in safe haven perception. Meanwhile, Metaplanet is expanding its Bitcoin operations to the U.S. as chart patterns hint at a potential Bitcoin crash. Don't miss out on any of these developing stories. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, drop a comment below with your thoughts, and follow us on all social media platforms for real-time updates. We'll see you on the next one.